What's going on, guys? This is Znak here, and today I'm going to be giving you an update video and a little bit of a tutorial in Sony Vegas Pro. But before we get into the tutorial, let's go over a little update. I recently graduated college, and now I have more time on my hands to do what I want, as I'm looking for a career. So I figured make the best use of my time and put out some more tutorials because I have been wanting to put out some tutorials, and also I've been doing some gameplay videos. I can do Fortnite. Really, I've been big into horror games as of recently, like the scary games. So doing some of those playthroughs. That's Call of Duty, CS:GO. Basically whatever you guys want to see or whatever I feel like playing is what I'm going to upload. Um, so yeah, I really want to do, like I said, I wanted to do some Sony Vegas Pro, because this is the only software I use to edit all my videos. To get videos like this one, I'm going to be explaining how exactly I do this type of stuff in today's video. I'm not going to really break down a tutorial, but more or less just explain how to set up your Sony Vegas Pro for an edit like that. Um, so yeah, I guess let's get into it. Let's just go into the main. This is what you'll see whenever you open up Sony Vegas Pro. This is not a sponsored video by any means, but if you want to, Sony Vegas Pro 14 edition is on sale on Steam for $50. This is a $200 to $300 program that you can get for $50 on the Steam store, which I highly recommend because I can do anything in all of this is capable of being done in Sony Vegas Pro and so much more. Because that's what I've been doing for my entire life. I've only used Sony Vegas Pro, and I've learned all the kinks and the kicks and all the little workarounds. So I can do a lot of things in this program. So when you first start up the application, you're gonna have 3 or 4 windows up here. You're gonna have this one, the one that you see. You're going to have a middle one, which you do not need the middle one. There's a little X button, like there's an X here and an X here. You'll have an X like right in this area somewhere for this pane. You could just take that one out. And you'll also have a mixer over here. It's an audio mixer. You can just take that out. The only ones you're going to need are this one, which this is your file explorer. This is where you're going to bring all of your files. Just your project media, your explorer, transitions, and all this stuff. You're going to have your preview page, which this is where you're going to see what you're working on currently. And down here is going to be your main work area. This is where all the magic is going to happen for the video. So break down just a little bit. This is like I said, your main work area. The way I usually set things up, you right click here. I insert about 3 video tracks to start everything off. And then scroll down a little bit with the blank area. And I do 3 audio tracks. That's just to start things off. So right click, insert audio track. Okay, so we have your audio track, audio track, audio track. We go up 3, we have our video, video, video. So we go to the middle, you should have an audio and a video. Video right here, audio right here, and I can tell the difference because one says volume and has the bars. So typically these are your layers. This is gonna be your top layer, your middle layer, your bottom layer, and then your audio layer. I mean, you can't really tell the layers with the audios because the way I edit, I just change volume on different layers, but these are going to be your 3 audio layers. So your top layer is always going to be black bars or any type of overlay that you want to throw on your video. Like for me, the top layer of my videos are always black bars. It's the 2 black bars that you see up and down the bottom and top of the screen. That's the only thing I will ever put on this top layer. This middle layer right here, this one will be for optical flares, lens flares, lighting, any kind of flashing effects will go onto this layer. And this layer is typically your gameplay layer. This is where your gameplay is going to be, running through here. You can make your cuts and all that stuff on this layer. So the audio layer below the last video layer. This is going to be where your gameplay audio is going to be attached to. You're going to have your preview of your gameplay right here, and then you're going to have your preview of the audio that's attached to that gameplay here. So you're going to have your gameplay and your audio from the gameplay right here. So that should be the only thing that goes on this video track is your gameplay audio. One below it, this is going to be your sound effects, such as your gunshots, your booms, your claps, your cymbals, anything that's a sound effect will go on here. And typically you want to higher the volume up a little bit because, it's a sound effect. You could lower it if you don't want it that, you know, stand out. And then, of course, your bottom audio layer is always going to be for your music, your background music. That's the only thing you should probably ever put on your bottom audio layer. All right. So going into your settings to set up for an edit like this, go to your file, go down to properties, and this is going to be where everything, I haven't really touched any of this, so I'm going to look through it, we're going to look through it together. Template, you're going to obviously, this is going to be the size of your preview or size of your video whenever you go to render it out. Let's see what we got. These are HDV 1080 by 60, no. HD 720 by 1080, 1920 by 1080, 60i, HD 1080 60i. It's probably a very good one. We're going to change the frame rate on this. So we're going to change the frame rate to, obviously, you want a 60, double NTSC, double, you want the 60 frames. Stereoscopic 3D mode. Okay, so if we go back to the video, do you see these? It's like blue, red. In order to get this effect, as soon as you start at Vegas, you need to have this turned on to red, cyan, and it's personal preference, whatever you like to use. I typically use red cyan just because it looks the best. The thing is, when you turn this on, your video will go into a color correction, which whenever I go over that tutorial, I'll show you how to fix all of that. This pixel format's 8-bit. Rendering quality, if you have a good PC, which I do, I'm going to have the best rendering quality. Motion blur type Gaussian, which you could mess with some of these if you like, but I do like the Gaussian. It works the best for me. Smart resample, and I think, obviously render files folder where you're going to put them. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to apply this. Okay. It's going to be your preferences for the video. Okay, now some more things I kind of would like to go over in your project media. Whenever you go to import a file, let's see, open a file, let's say, you find a file, right? It'll go into a preview here. You'll click and drag it. If it's audio, you obviously want to drag it to the right audio layer. If it's video, assuming it's gameplay, just, give you an imagination. If it's a gameplay, you're going to want to drag the video to the third layer, which is your video, your gameplay video, and your gameplay audio. So it should be connected on both of these. You'll drop them. And, of course, in the project media, you have your transitions for each one. I don't really work with transitions that much. Occasionally, in some edits, I will throw in transitions, but typically no. Video effects, this is going to be where all of your effects are going to be at. There are some plugins that you can get. There's some external plugins like Magic Bullet Looks and Twixtor, but I'm going to be working around those since this is a newer version. I was working in Sony Vegas 13. This is 14, and I've learned a lot from 13 that I could probably do a lot of the things without Magic Bullet Looks or Twixtor. So we're going to be working through some of these eventually. Media generators, these are going to be your solid colors and just like, some pictures that you can throw in or some green screen, stuff like that. Let's go back to the preview screen. Preview screen, you're going to have your quality settings. Let's say if we had a gameplay as we're working through this, you can see this up here in the screen. You can see what you're working on. Obviously, the best, if you go to auto, it will be the best quality that your PC is capable of running. If you go to draft, like quarter, it's going to be the worst. So it's going to be very blurred, very pixelated, hard to see what you're doing. So typically, depending on your computer, which I have a very good computer, I usually go to just best auto, and it has the best quality for my computer. And it's easier to see what I'm doing. And of course, this is how you save a snapshot. If you have a screenshot here or a gameplay here and you want to take a screenshot of it, throw some effects on it, you click this button and it will go take a screenshot and save it to your pictures or wherever you have it designated at. And that's basically just a run through of how to set up for an edit. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. And like I said, I'm going to be doing some gameplay, some tutorials, and other things along that nature. This has been Znak, guys, and I'll see you guys later.